Okay, so as this lab is done, so how about you, Swapna? So Harika mentioned like she is done with this mapping. So did you finish this, or do you need any help?
Um, this one, the one which we did last
Okay,
time.
let me share my screen.
The- I didn't finish that,
Okay,
but yeah, I'll do it. I
okay,
didn't get the time.
okay, great. So just let me know even in the next class, like if you are facing any issues. So just I want you to finish this one. So if not, like I can help you out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. So I'm continuing with other expressions. I mean the transformations today. So the next one is going to be like
Okay.
expression. So just I want to go back to my transformations once again, like whatever I explained. So there are two different kind of transformation as I explained earlier. So one is active and other one is passive. What is active? If I am passing n records, the result from that specific transformation should be either greater than n or less than n. So that is an active. So whatever we see in the source qualified transformation, when you are using a filter, so what's happening? If I'm sending like 100 records, okay, so 100 records are consisting of like the employee details from across world, but in filter I mentioned only the employees who are related to US, then you are going to get only 20 records. That means you are filtering the records, that means you are controlling the records count, that means that is an active transformation. The next transformation what we are talking over here is expression. So in the expression transformation, what kind of transformation is this? This is the first thing. Okay. So when you look at the expression transformation, this is kind of a passive transformation because why I'm calling it as passive. When I'm sending in a records like 100 records, the output from this transformation is 100. At any cost, it's not going to change. If you are passing n, it should be n. So, in any scenario or like whatever the rule, whatever the business logic, whatever the function you use, you are not able to reduce the count by using this transformation. That's why I'm saying expression transformation is a passive transformation. But expression transformation is a very, very crucial transformation in your Informatica. Okay, why? Whatever the changes, okay, whatever the changes you want to perform on the data, whatever the data manipulations you want to do on a row, or whatever the changes you want to apply for a specific field, so you can perform by using expression transformation. But whatever is what? Whatever means, for example, I am getting data first name last name from source, but in my target I am having a record called just the name, not the any first name or last name, just the name. Then how I am going to get the name? Concatenation of this first name and last name is going to produce me a name. Like what? Let me show you. See, this is what my source. First, last. Just I'm taking an example, okay? Name. Just employee number. Here also employee. So this is my source. This is my target. Okay. So employee number 101 is coming like ABC and last name is 123. Just like example, like okay, don't take it very serious. BCD 4243. And here, what happening here? So now by using expression transformation, okay, this is an expression transformation. By using this transformation, what I'm doing, I am trying to concatenate. Okay, I'm using a function concat. Concatenate is a function. Okay, I don't want to go in deep. I don't want to use any Excel functions, but concatenate. Concatenate. So by using this expression transformation. What's going to happen now? I'm concatenating first name and last name. So what could be the result? 101, they should be ABC and 123. Here 102, I'm concatenating BCD and 243. Am I losing any records now? Here what is the count? 2. Here what is the count? 2. This is one scenario. Okay. The other scenario, 103, whatever the names, okay, along with this concatenation, what I'm doing is DEF 1 2 3. What I'm trying to say now is whatever the letters are like is in the capital letters, I want my name in a small letters. 103 by using this expression transformation. DEF and 1 2 3. So am I losing any records count now? No. And other example, okay, 104, I want the last name should be flipped, or for example, like assume this as a salary. Just for example, I'm changing the scenario again. Okay, this is a salary. I want like a 10% of this, or 10% of this specific salary as a bonus. Okay, and my target field is bonus. So then what's going to happen? 10% means 12.3 and 24.3, 12.3. But by doing all these things, am I changing any count? No. So ultimately, my intention to explain the spreadsheet is you need to understand where the changes are happening on the row level. On a row level. So when I'm performing this change on a row level, what's exactly going to change? The fields in that row. But it's not impacting on the total count. That's why expression transformation is in a passive. You should be capable of understanding this thing, and you should be able to explain this to your interviewer. Okay, what kind of operations you are doing in expression transformation? You are performing row level operations on expression transformation. Is that clear? Any questions?
No.
Okay, now going back to the slide, here like this is how your expression transformation looks like. So the same thing like a source qualifier, you are going to have in a ports, you are going to have a properties, you are going to have a metadata extensions, transformation. But what you have to focus over here is for expression transformation you don't have any properties, because you are not filtering the records, you are not doing any kind of a alteration on total record counts, or you are not performing any specific kind of operations on complete set of the data. So you are doing only row level operations. So when you are doing row level operations, where exactly you are doing on a fields. So this is where you need to play around on these fields. So you don't have any other properties other than this specific tab, that is ports tab. Okay, now think about this. What exactly you are going to do here? See, like in this one, when you are looking at the expression transformation, there are few things you need to concentrate. The first thing is port. What is a port? The one which is coming from outside and linking to your map or transformation is an input port. Okay, the port or the link or the arrow which is coming from other transformation or other object and linking to your transformation is a input port for your transformation. In this example, for example, like I am getting data from a source qualifier transformation to expression transformation. You are linking a row from source qualifier to expression. In that scenario, that specific one is going to be input for your expression and output for your source qualifier. Okay, simple. If it is coming to your transformation, input. If it is going from your transformation, output. Now second thing, input output is okay, but what is third one here which is labeled as V? Variable port. What is a variable port? Variable port means, maybe like you might remember, like before your 10th grade, like you used to do calculations like this. So when someone asks like calculate sum of a comma b, what you used to do? Okay, A is step 1. I don't know whether you remember it or not. I still remember. we used to write in the steps. Step 1, a is equal 10. Step 2, b is equal 10. Step 3, assume c as a variable where you are going to perform the sum of a comma b. So step 3 would be c is equal to sum of a comma b. Then c is equal to a plus b. Then c is equal to a means 10 plus b means 20. C is equal to 30. So what is the c here? What you used to call? So instead of c I can call x. What you used to call x? Harika, do you remember? When I'm saying like x in your mathematical calculations, so what would be the x? I don't know whether you remember it or not. It's been a long time, right? So we used to call that as a variable. Are you able to recollect that? We used to take some variables and we used to perform some calculations, and then you are going to apply this variable to the actual value whatever in your question is they are expecting. Okay, so I don't want to confuse you more, so let me write it here. So you give like they say is equal 10, b is equal 20. Now I'm asking find out the a plus b. Okay, this is what I want now. So what I'm saying is assume c as x as a variable and stuff, and x is equal to a plus b. Okay, then substitute the values in place of a plus b. X is equal to 10 plus 20, then x is equal to 30. Here x is a variable. Okay, in the same way in the expression transformation also you're going to have a variable called x. What is that x? X means here in what scenario you are going to use x. Okay, now what I'm saying is in your expression transformation, okay, I need to use a variable port. Okay, let me take a scenario for that. Ultimately, let me take this example. Okay, now what I'm saying is I want you to find out the total salary of an employee. Total salary of an employee. So how you are going to do that? So when I'm saying total salary, what does it mean? Total salary means salary, total salary. What does it mean? Salary plus bonus. Okay, now do I have anything like bonus in my source?
No.
No. So what I need to do now? I need to create a variable port in my expression transformation. Okay, like bonus, v underscore bonus is equal to what? How much bonus you want to give? I want to give 10% of my salary. That is what? My bonus. So v underscore bonus, it's not v minus bonus, okay, v underscore bonus. So I defined a variable called bonus. So in this bonus what I'm doing, I'm using just this as a variable port where I can apply some kind of a logic. What is that logic? 10% of this 123, or I can write like this, sal. Okay, for example, this is what my logic. Okay, this is what my logic. So what I will do now, whenever I do the v bonus, so v underscore bonus for this field or for this row I can say bonus is equal to what is the 10% of 123? 12.3. And this is a variable port, but when it comes to the output port, what will it become? 123 plus 12.3. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm adding sal plus v underscore bonus. Very important concept. That's why like I'm spending this much of time by using a spreadsheet. Okay, so ultimately where you are creating this variable port, you are creating within the expression transformation, because this bonus is not there in my source and as well as not there in any other transformations. Ultimately I need a common place to put this logic. That's why I'm using variable port. Now you need to understand one more thing. What is the priority? Like in what priority or like in what sequence they will process your data. For example, I'm having here input data and this is the input port. first name is input port, last name is input port. See, whatever I checked is a, it denotes a port. So up to gender, everything is input port. Coming to age, what kind of port is this? Input as well as output, means it's coming out, coming into this transformation, coming, going out from this transformation. So there won't be any logics over here. And next, out name, it's only output port, it's not coming from anywhere, it's just going from this transformation. Don't get confused. Okay, so please let me know if it's clear or not, or else I'll explain once again. Very, very important. Harika, is it clear what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And Swapna?
Yeah.
Okay. If you are having the port like this, which port will process first? Informatica will process the input ports or output ports or input output ports or variable ports. Which one will be processed first? So normally the Informatica will follow this thing. Very, very important in the interviews or in your development. Variable port is on first priority. First variable ports will get processed. Okay, then input ports will get processed, then output port will get processed. This is what the sequence: variable port, input port, output port. Okay, so if you are using any logic in your transformations, first variable ports will get processed, then input ports will get processed, then output port will get processed. Means the control first will go to variable, then the control will go to the input, then the control will go to the output. Very, very important in terms of interviews as well as in terms of your development or in terms of your testing as well, to understand. Okay, now where you are going to write your logics. Okay, these variable ports are good, but like you need to have some kind of a logic, right? Like here in this example, so what exactly is doing? If the customer age is less than 20, okay, you need to mention the target like less than 20. If it is like greater than 20, greater than or equal 20 and less than or equal 29, then you need to mention the age group is 20 to 29. If it is like greater than 30, less than 39, then it's going to be 30 to 39. So you're going to derive the groups. So what could be the logic? So if you remember, like when I don't like when you were engineering or like in C and C++, you might have practiced if loops, if and else loops. So this is where the process of using if and else, or like if you have any other functions like a decode or anything, whatever the functions you want to use, you can use in the expression editor. So what different kind of functions you have? There are like hell lot of functions like so. And one advantage over here is like you are going to have all these functions listed on your expression editor. Just you have to select that function, and even it will give the description what that function will do, so that you can easily understand, okay, how can you use that function. And if you want any specific scenario, just help type that function in your Informatica help and you will get with the scenario. So it's pretty simple, like, so the only thing you need is a confidence. So the only thing you will get that from experiencing the transformations by doing like a lot of different scenarios. Okay, so what you need to understand from this slide is, in the expression transformation, if you want to apply any logic, then you are going to have an expression editor. Within the expression editor, you can apply different kind of functions. All those functions will be listed on left hand side of your expression editor. We will see like when we look into the actual mapping. So these are the different kind of functions. So anyway, like we can discuss them in practical. So this is what like a variable port. Okay, so when he declared this as a variable port, then whatever the logic he is putting over here, that will be used in some other place. See here I am using month as a variable port, right? He used this month again here. Okay, can you see this arrow? So he, even though this is not there in the input or like your source, but still you are creating this as a variable port and trying to use that in your logics. Is it make sense? In the, if you open the expression transformation, these variable ports will not be visible. Only you need to double click on that to see these variable ports. Any questions, Harika, Swapna?
No.
Okay, so this is wrong. I need to change this. First variable ports will be, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mentioned in a different way. This is what the order. So input ports, variable ports, then the output ports. Very, very important, as I mentioned earlier. Just I'm verifying like once again on this specific one. Just give me a sec. I don't want to give you wrong information. There is a little bit confusing. Logically, it's true. First input, then variable, then output. Yep, perfect. So all the input ports will be processed first, then all the variable ports, and last all output ports processed. And this is also important. Let me add this into my slide. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay. Yeah, once again, sorry. I wrongly routed to a different way. So once again I'm repeating the same statement like first the input ports, then the variable ports, then the output ports. This is what the sequence. But if you're having input ports or like a variable ports, like multiple input ports, multiple variable ports, multiple output ports, in what order? Top to bottom. Okay, not only in the variable ports, even any ports, it's going to be top to bottom. But like normally the difference comes only the variable ports, because if you are having a different kind of logics, different kind of assignments, the only problems come with the variable ports is if I am using a variable, three different kind of a variable ports. Okay, one is bonus, and I am using this bonus in other variable port like commission, and in other one like a tax. But which one need to process first? Because I am using this bonus in commission and I am using this commission in tax. Then first bonus need will be processed, then commission, then the tax. But assume you mentioned this tax on top, okay, and you are performing and you are using commission in the tax. It will get failed because it will start from tax. When it comes to the tax, if you it won't find any value of the commission, then it will say like undefined. It will get failed. Okay, and I just want you to practice this one. I just want you to, even I will practice on this one. I'll try to create a mapping just to explain this thing. Anyway, so I just noted it down. So I request you also do a kind of a practice session or something on this one, and let me know even if I forgot in next class or like in any other labs. So we'll try to see this. Okay, so once again I'm repeating is input variable and output. That's strange. It's been like a long time and I'm using these ports. But anyway, any questions as of now?
No.
Okay. Now there is other one like a validate. Okay. In the expression transformation, whenever you are using the editor, okay, you can check is your logic is right or wrong. If your logic is right, there itself it will say okay your logic something wrong in your logic. Okay, so you need to correct that. You should know what is the error and you should know how to resolve that error. So that doesn't mean that if you know the function you can write a logic, no, right? You should have here you need to apply your common sense as well as your analytical skills as a developer. So this is the place where you can like tune your mapping, you can put in a better way. Okay, so everything can be possible in the editors in writing these logics. Okay, so the way you think, the better you can get it. But still you have the option to edit or you have the option to validate this one. So anything like whatever the errors, that can be grammatical errors or that can be functional errors or syntactical errors or anything. Okay, now the next transformation is filter transformation. So what is a filter transformation? It's same like your source qualifier transformation, like you are going to have a property, right? Filter property in source qualifier. Why we will use a filter property? To filter out the records. Means based on the condition, you are going to filter the records and you are going to send it to the next transformation. But why? In the source qualifier you are already having this filter, but again why you are going to use the filter transformation explicitly? Because source qualifier transformation is used only for the relational objects. If you want to perform any kind of operation, okay, other than data input, I mean other than the data types change, okay, other than the data types change, all remaining operations you can perform only on source relational objects, not on the flat files. See, if you want to join two flat files, not possible. If you want to filter the records in a flat files, not possible. If you want to order by the records from a file, it's not possible. Then what is possible for the flat files by using a source qualifier? Only converting of those data types, it will convert into Informatica understandable format. But if I want to do all these operations, what kind of transformations I need to use? That's why you're having a separate transformations like a filter, joiner, sorter to perform the operations on a flat files. Is that only the advantage of the filter? No. Normally, if you compare source qualifier to the filter transformation, what are the differences? So these are kind of important questions you may expect. So the basic difference from the filter and source qualifier. The first difference, source qualifier transformation can be used only filter out the records for the relational objects, not for the flat files. But filter, you can filter any kind of object. You can filter the records from any kind of object. Okay. The next thing, filter transformation you can use wherever you want it in the mapping. I can use the filter after 5 transformations or after one transformation, after like near close to the target. But coming to the source qualifier, I can use in only one place, that is next to the source. Apart from that, I cannot use that. Okay, so that is a I mean, I cannot say advantage, but that is a difference between the filter and source qualifier. But what is the real advantage of the source qualifier by using a filter if it is a relational object? For example, if I am passing 1000 million records from my source to target, but out of that 1000 million records, useful records are only 10. Okay, useful records are only 10. If I use a filter transformation, like after 10 transformations, so is it really helps to me? Because why unnecessarily I need to transfer this 10,000 records to 5 different kind of a transformations? Why? Is it really required? No. Where what I can do on the source itself, I can filter those 10 records from the 10 million records. And then though I'll perform all my operations only on 10 records instead of 10,000 million or like 100 million. That is the advantage of source qualifier filter compared to the filter transformation. So filter transformation is pretty simple. Is first thing is, what kind of transformation is this? Active, because simple. The name itself will say filter. So what is the filter condition? Whatever the condition you want, just put it. If you don't mention any condition, what's going to happen? By default, it will consider them as a true. True means what? Whatever the record is coming, it will just filter it. Okay, filter in the sense it won't discard the record. It will just pass it to the next transformation. I mean, put it in a simple way. If I'm passing 100 records, it will give 100 records if you don't put any filter condition. Means, so the filter condition is uh, what are the filter condition you are putting? That filter condition must be evaluated to true. Okay, for example, here in this example, customer number not equals to 999 or not is null of customer number, means if any one of them true, like is not equals to 9999 or is not null of customer number, if any one of them true, the record will get filtered. That means the record will not only those records will go out. Here little bit confusing. Okay, whatever the condition is matching, only those records will go out. Filter means it will not throw them away. Okay, whatever the condition you are putting, based on the condition only it will send the records out. Okay, let me give a simple example. Customer location is called Hyderabad. Only the people belongs to Hyderabad, only the employees belongs to Hyderabad will go into target or will go into the next transformation. But where the rest of the records will go? The people who are working in US, the people who are working in Bangalore, Chennai, where those records will go? They will just discard it. Means they will ignore. So if you are not mentioning any condition, means whatever is coming, it will evaluate to true and it will send the record. That means all the records will go into target. Does it make sense? Am I able to explain it properly?
Yes.
Harika, Swapna?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Bottom line is, whatever the condition you are putting, if that matches, then only the record will pass the test. If not, fail. Send it out. Send it out in sense, send it into trash, not out of this transformation. So whatever the matching things, then only they will go into next transformation. Next, file lists. So file list is a different concept apart from the transformations. So I'll come to this later. Just I want to concentrate on the transformations now. These two concepts. Anyway, there are no other transformations, so let me use file list. Now, what is a file list? In the real time, for example, there is a Walmart business and you are processing Walmart data. Okay, all Chicago related information, all Chicago locations, because in the Chicago location there will be like 100 different kind of stores. All these stores will have same structure of data. Like, same structure means what? Employee number, employee name, salary. This is structure. All these 100 locations will have the same structure. Okay, and Bangalore, I'm sorry, not in the Chicago location, then the Dallas location. The Dallas location also, they are having a different kind of structure, like employee number, employee name, sal, bonus. Okay, how many Walmarts? There are 1000 Walmarts. Again, you are having India Walmarts. So there are like 10 Walmarts. Again, you are going to have a different kind of a structure. But ultimately, even though you are having 100 different kind of Walmarts, means 100 different kind of files from Chicago location. From Chicago location, how many files? 100 files. From Dallas, how many files? 100 files. From India, how many files? 10 files. Bottom line, what is the structure of those Chicago 100 files? Same. What about the structure of this Dallas files? Same. Whatever the structure of this India files? Same. So total how many structures we are having? 100 or 210 or 3? Which one is right? Harika? How many structures I am having? Okay, Swapna? I am just trying to waking you up, guys. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
I know. Okay, you are having 100 files from Chicago location with the same structure, and you are having 100 files with the same structure from Dallas, and you are having 10
Okay,
files from
three sets.
India. So
Structures.
total how many structures?
Three.
And Harika, is it 210 or 3 structures, or Harika, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, is it 3 or 210?
Three.
Yeah, perfect. So when you're having 3 structures, do I really need to maintain 210 files? No, right? Whatever the 100 files are having same structure, why can't I group, or why can't I put all them together and just take one structure into my Informatica? That concept is called file list. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place all the files which are related to one structure in one place. Anyway, my Informatica is only concentrating on the structure, right? Not on the data volume or like data files or anything. Only structure is matters for me. When I'm talking about Informatica, I'm talking only about structures like pipeline I mentioned in my example. So as you're having 3 structures, then I just need 3 instances in my Informatica. But how you're going to process 100 files which are there on back of those 100 files or like 210 files? For that, I am using a concept called file list. What the file list is going to do? File list means if I am having 100 files with the same structure, I am going to take that one structure into my Informatica, and I am processing that one structure for these 100 files. So if I run the job, what it's going to do? It's going to take those 100 files worth of the data into as a one entity, and it will process it. So even if you are having different kinds of records, that's okay, but the structure should be same. Okay, this kind of a load is called indirect load. Okay, indirect load. Just a sec. Sorry. So this is very important. Direct load and indirect load. What is a direct load? Whatever you are performing till now is a direct load, like file to one table, or two files to two tables, or like one file to different tables. But whenever you are talking about structure and multiple files on the structure, then it's called a indirect load. Okay. Any questions, Harika?
No.
Okay, good. Now, the next thing is workflow scheduler. Nowadays, no one is using this workflow scheduler because people are using different kind of a third-party tools to schedule the jobs. Schedule the jobs means what? Once you build a job, okay, once you create a job, so every day, for example, your jobs are running daily. Means you're supposed to take the Walmart transactional data into a ODS every day. Then you are not going to create every day a new mapping or new session or new workflow. You are going to create your session workflow only one time and just run the workflow so that it will load the data into your targets. Does it make sense? So every day there will be a support persons. That's why we call it as a production support. So in the production support, what the people will do? They will monitor the jobs. Okay, they will monitor the jobs and they will make sure, okay, today job ran successfully, yes, successfully. Records loaded, yes, records loaded. But in the development, what you are going to do? You are going to develop this specific job one time and they will use it for years until they have that nest. Earlier, I mean, I won't say earlier also, but like Informatica is having its own mechanism to schedule the jobs. But like no one will prefer this, as you're having like a different kind of entities or different kind of technologies, different kind of applications in your project. So people will go for a third party scheduling tools which can sync all of other applications along with your Informatica. Okay, so anyway, like we will see in the workflow scheduler, but I don't want you to focus on this one much, but if required you can definitely use this specific property, but we will discuss this when we come to the practical sessions.
Okay.
Okay, and this is what a lab is supposed to do. Okay, so maybe just for today I don't want to share my screen. Harika, can you share your screen?
Yeah, when I'm sharing, I have problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Swapna, can you share your screen? Oh, Swapna is not here. Okay, so that's okay. So try to concentrate on expression transformation. Okay, just try to take into your Informatica and do some kind of an analysis today, so that tomorrow we will do by using anyway we don't have that much of time today, so by using these files and expression transformation and filter.
Okay.
Okay, so any questions, Harika?
No, I don't have any question.
Yeah, and sorry for this confusion like the input and variable. So
No.
yeah, just but try to practice today on expression and source qualifier. Okay, if you don't get anything on expression, that's okay, but at least try to concentrate on source qualifier.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all from my end, Harika, for today. So tomorrow we'll meet around like I'll let you know. I'll send out a note by today or like
Okay.
tomorrow morning 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So do you have any other plans, or are you guys are fine?
Um, no, I don't have any plan.
No,
Is
okay
it
then.
okay if I write 9 at that time?
No, okay, Harika. Sure. So then I'll set up some meeting and